I haven't played on controller in 5 months and I can still do all of this. And this is how I suggest you find your perfect sensitivity in Fortnite. I'm JKC and my job is to help you become a better Fortnite player at any cost. So if that sounds cool, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're on our way to 17,000 subscribers. I've had a lot of people ask me about this in recent days and recent weeks, so we're going to be figuring out how to find you the best controller sensitivity possible to be better on controller, basically. And this all starts with what I like to call the base sensitivity. Now this sensitivity, I'm going to show you right now. You're going to go into your controller settings all the way over here where it says controller. And this base sensitivity is going to be pretty simple. You're going to have these settings on. 1.8 build mode sensitivity, 1.8 edit mode sensitivity, 35-35. 35-35 is a great look sensitivity because it gives you that perfect balance of being able to move around fast enough to see things, but also be able to hit a little flick shot right here. Like, it's also the perfect for that. So in terms of the base sensitivity, now this is perfect because it is in the middle of slow and fast. It is not crazy fast, but it's also not like really slow either. And you'll know whether this is perfect for you because you'll feel pretty comfortable on it straight away. For me, this feels a little bit too slow. So what I've done, and I will do after this video ends, is go to my settings and up it slightly. I normally play on a 2x multiplier for my edit and builds. Because this, I sometimes mess up edits like close to the wall, like this, that I probably wouldn't mess up on 2x. But I can still have enough control on the far away edits, like let's say I was on this wall, on this one. I still have enough control over here to do this edit really well. Most pros end up playing on higher than the base sensitivity, but you can honestly make it work playing on slightly lower as well. Controller players don't have to be incredibly mechy. If it's slow, it's slow. But as long as you can do what you need to in game, no one is going to complain that your sense is too slow. It's your decision. Now, of course, you still have some problems with the normal looking sense. You might still have those problems. For example, a good way to test whether your look sense is good is, let's say you're just playing a Fortnite game and there's a player just right in front of you. If you flick onto them and you miss them, but let's say they're right here. If you flick onto them and you end up over here somewhere, you've over flicked before you've shot and you've missed them like that, and you keep doing that sort of thing, let's say they're here again, and you flick over here, I've just flicked straight onto them. You flick over here and you over flick over here, that probably means your sensitivity is too quick. But if you end up flicking and you only get to like here and you shoot, or you flick and only get to like here and then you shoot, you're under flicking and you probably need to raise the sensitivity. Again, this is different for different people, and once you figured out your look sense, you can then start to figure out your build sensitivities and stuff like that, and start to figure out like what's going on with that and how changing the look sense has affected the build sense change. I know a lot of the pros do prefer a faster look sense because it does allow to hit them flick shots in these high tense scenarios. However, when I was in controller, I preferred a slightly slower look sense and a faster build sense because it really allowed me to just like use my builds to get around them and then line up my crosshair with good crosshair placement as opposed to flicking everything. I felt it really forced me into that role of just holding my crosshair where the opponent was. If they were in this box, I'm holding my crosshair on them, waiting for them to edit, like that. When I'm on their wall, I might drop down on their wall, I'm holding my crosshair out on them, I hit them like that, they get the wall back maybe, and I'm holding my crosshair on them. Even when I'm edit out back, I'm just keeping my crosshair in the general area means you don't have to flick as much. You don't have to have a high sensitivity on controller. That is a common misconception that a lot of people have. One more thing to look for when you're playing on controller to see whether your sensitivity is right for you or you might need to change is your crosshair placement. If your crosshair placement is super bad, then you might need to change your sense a little bit. Let's say, for example, this is bad crosshair placement right here, what I'm showing. This is terrible crosshair placement. You see how when I'm editing down, I'm literally doing the entire lane here. I'm going from like here to over here, and then when I edit the ramp, I'm going from here to over here, which is terrible. Good crosshair placement would be this. Really tight movements. Really tight movements. It's a lot harder to get good crosshair placement on controller, but it can be done. Because obviously on keyboard, you have a really big arm to make all the tiny little edits you need on keyboard, so you can like get some really good crosshair placement on there. Really nail it, but on controller it's a lot harder to do that. On controller you have to have like really precise movements to have good crosshair placement. This can take a long time to learn, but it is 100% worth it. You feel a lot more controlled and you feel a lot more ready to do whatever you need to do. It's the same premise as the aim. If you feel like you're over flicking your edits and you're going like this when you're trying to edit, then you've probably got a too high sensitivity. But if you sometimes feel like this and you're under flicking, so you're doing your crosshair and you're not getting enough squares in, say you're going like this, then your sense might be slightly too low. It might be time to up it. I'd also like to recommend that you guys play on linear with 0% across the board on all of the different boosts. Linear is by far the best sense to build up muscle memory. It's great for these close range engagements that you're mostly going to be having, and it's just super good all around. In terms of the boosts, they all just kind of complicate things, and we haven't actually been able to test them out as a community and decide which ones are the best to have on and off. They're all a bit wishy-washy, and they all sometimes work and don't work. It's best to just keep them off. This video felt very slightly waffly, but that is the main premise of how you know what sensitivity is right for you. Start with the base sensitivity, then work your way either up or down on both the movement and the edit and the build sensitivity to work out which is best for you. And you'll eventually end up with a sense that you feel comfortable with, that you can hit edits with, and it basically works around your playstyle. If you want to become the best fighter on controller, then make sure you check out the Destiny Jesus Fighting Masterclass link in description. It is the best way to improve fighting in 2024, and it is basically a short guide of 150 videos plus of exactly how to become the best fighter in the entire world. If you're thinking of buying it, you can use code JKC for 17% off, a massive discount for you. And again, the link is in the description if you want to check it out. In a couple weeks' time, I'll be joining the coaching course as a coach myself, releasing my very own video onto the Fighting Masterclass. So make sure you are there for that, checking it out, purchasing it, and I'll see you in a couple weeks when my video drops on it. YouTube likes it when you watch more than one videos, so click on the 2 videos on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.